Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the NHL Pacific Division, previewing all teams. This one's kind of weird. Anaheim Ducks making some moves, not really doing much of anything. Big rumor with them nowadays is, are they going to trade for Justin Falk? It's a big if, because all reports are saying that he does not want to go there. They lost a long time asset in them, in Corey Perry. Bought him out, which that was
questionable.
I wasn't saying it was like surprising because he's making a lot of money,
but you still wonder why they traded away one of their. I mean, yeah, he's getting up there in age, but wouldn't you still consider him one of the key parts of the team? Was at least.
Yeah, for the most part. He really didn't stay healthy for that long, and then they're going with the youth movement. But if they trade for Justin Falk, I've heard the return is Andre Kashe and assets. And Andre is supposed to be one of their young players to build around. So it makes no sense. I mean, you have guys like Trevor Zegras, who they drafted this past year. Troy Terry, I don't know if you know, he's a World Junior stud. Basically like TJ Oshie kind of.
Oh boy.
Sam Steele, real good two-way center. Daniel Sprong traded
Is he going to be back in the NHL next year?
He's going to be full-time NHL next year. Anton Morand, I don't know if he's NHL ready yet. Isaac Lunderstrom, I don't know about that kid. Max Jones, he should be a full-time NHLer, and so should Maxime Comtois. They're going to be pretty bad.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think they're going to help?
You have Gibson and net, so nothing's ever out of question, but
he can only save so many pucks in a game, and if he's not getting any offensive help, he's gonna get tired and he's gonna let out goals that he wouldn't if.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Arizona Coyotes making a big move, trading for Phil Kessel.
Yeah, Phil. I mean, his time in Pittsburgh wasn't overspent. It was a good couple years, but I mean, for whatever they're trying to do, I mean, I guess Arizona, I don't know what they are.
I think they're trying to make the playoffs this year.
I mean, that's a move you would make to try to.
Yeah.
You get a goal scorer, but.
Because really, they just can't put pucks in that at all. Well, they traded Kessel for Alex Galchenyuk and Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Both those two young players. I mean, they're not gonna.
We'll get to Pittsburgh in another video.
Yeah.
In the Metro preview, but
Arizona also trading for Carl Soderberg. That just really is kind of like a depth move, which doesn't really make sense considering you're gonna have Barrett Hayden, a draft pick from last year, supposed to make his NHL debut this year.
Could it be delayed then?
It shouldn't be. This kid has nothing else to prove in juniors. He really doesn't.
I know, but. Some teams are just.
Yeah, I mean they wasted Dylan Strom, and look what he did in Chicago.
And then Keller.
Yeah, Clayton Keller signing a brand new extension.
Now I know you said that you didn't necessarily agree with
it's
average annual value, but
it's a way overpayment for what he has produced so far.
Could they be saying, well, he can only go up from here?
Yes.
Is that one of those?
Yeah.
So
it's one of those.
But do you think he will?
Yes, because they have Phil Kessel, and they should be Phil Kessel.
Mesh well.
I mean, realistically, they should, because I see Clayton Keller as a pretty good playmaker, and Phil can snipe pucks. Which, honestly, speaking of Clayton Keller, I think he breaks out this year. I
guess they're probably hoping that he does, because if not, that's a...
I think he could put up... I mean, to some, this might not be a breakout, but I think that he can put up around 70 points this year, maybe.
How old is he?
I think he's like 22, 23.
I mean, in the long run, you'd like him to be a little bit higher with the deal that he got. But, I mean, for a young kid, 70 points really isn't horrible for a team that
he only put up, he put up numbers in the 40s this past year. I think it was 49 to be exact.
And that's why you're a little iffy on the extension.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's a team, like you said, is probably on the cusp of making the playoffs.
Yeah. Team that should make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Calgary Flames. I don't understand this move whatsoever. Trading
In division
James
trade.
Neal for Milan Lucic. I mean, I get what from Calgary's standpoint is they wanted somebody who can play physical because they didn't really have that in their lineup.
Yeah. It showed in the playoffs.
But at the same time, you did not use James Neal correctly. You had him playing bottom 6 minutes, which that is not how you should be playing James Neal. Biggest thing with them is when is Matthew Tkachuk going to sign and how much is he going to sign for? Like we said previously, there's a lot of RFAs still unsigned. One of the moves that could free up some cap space to sign Matthew Tkachuk is potentially TJ Brody and Travis Hamonic. Both, I guess, kind of disappointed last year to an extent, but who knows with them. They signed Cam Talbot to be the backup, let Mike Smith go to Edmonton. I don't get that move. They signed a lot of professional tryouts. They gave Devontae Smith-Pelly one, Tobias Reeder one. Tobias Reeder didn't score a goal last year. And Zach Ronaldo one, which, Zach Ronaldo, he's gonna put up 0 points.
Wow. Bold.
The biggest thing for them is, can Elias Lindholm continue the success that he had, and can they get good goaltending? But as we said, that's literally for every team.
This is, like you mentioned, but this is a team that
should be a playoff team.
Should be. I mean, look what they did last year. They disappointed last year. I mean,
they disappointed in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. Their regular season was
phenomenal.
Yeah, but playoffs are a different story. If you can't have good goaltending, you're not.
They got wiped out by Colorado in 5.
I mean, and look at Colorado. We mentioned them in the last episode. They're fast.
Yeah.
That top line is
good, elite.
I mean, I am not afraid to say that's probably, if not the top line in the league.
Well, let's move on. Let's go to the Edmonton Oilers. I mean...
You mean the Edmonton McDavids?
Well, who knows if he's going to be ready for the start of the NHL season.
I've been seeing both that, hey, he's going to be ready. Oh, no, there's setbacks. I can't...
the latest thing that I've heard is he might not be ready to play in the preseason.
Well, I mean, you have arguably the greatest player on the planet.
Yeah.
Would you want him playing in preseason with an injury like that?
No.
I mean, at the time of his injury, it looked scary.
Yeah. So obviously they made the 1-for-1 and Lucic for Neal. I'm a big fan of this side of the deal for Edmonton.
Right.
Because now you can have him as a top 6 forward, either playing... Yeah. I don't know what their lines are going to be. Realistically, they should have Draisaitl, McDavid, and then X-Player, and then Nugent Hopkins and James Neal together.
Are Neal and Draisaitl the same position?
No, well, Draisaitl can play any position.
Okay.
He can play center, he can play left wing, he can play right wing. He can play any position.
And he's very underrated?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's underrated anymore, but...
Do you think people figured him out now after his
No.
insane season?
No. I mean, another thing with them, what are you doing with Jesse Puljujarvi? He goes back home. I think he's playing for Karpat. Which, I mean, he has a clause in his deal where if he wants to sign NHL, he can come back over to the NHL. So, who knows? They just need to cut ties with him because both parties.
Why aren't they?
Because they want to trade him,
but no one wants him.
But no, it's not that nobody wants him. Nobody wants the asking price that they're trying to get for him,
which is
at least a first-round pick.
Okay, I've never even heard of this guy.
He was the 4th overall pick a few years ago.
How long ago, though?
Austin Matthews draft.
Okay.
And this guy was supposed to be projected to be NHL ready out of the draft. He was arguably, it was Matthews, Laine, and then it was supposed to be him. Columbus made the bold choice in taking Pierre-Luc Dubois. But when he slipped to 4th, Edmonton was supposed to be like, okay, I'm blanking on the name here, but Gretzky was paired with a Finnish person, so Jesse Puljujarvi was supposed to be that Finnish person to Connor McDavid. That's what everybody thought. But look where we are now.
I've never even heard of the guy. And
Exactly.
It's just...
I don't know what's going to go on with him. They bought out Andre Secker. Really not much going on with that. Well, Evan Bouchard, I mean, I don't like his skating, but I think he's a good defenseman. They drafted Philip Broberg in this past draft. He's a good skater.
Yeah.
But I don't know what his ceiling's like. There's been some tournaments that he's played in where he's looked phenomenal, and others where he's looked like crappy, pure crappy.
What pick do they have with him?
Oh, I think it was like...
Was it top 10?
I think it might have been around 10, maybe.
So, I mean, was there insane value in this draft after the first couple, after Hughes and Kakko?
Not exactly. I mean, if I was the Edmonton GM...
Would he have been the guy that you picked at that time?
No.
Who would have been?
Spencer Knight.
Where'd he go?
He went to 13 to Florida.
Okay.
And with how bad their goaltending is...
Yeah.
I would have drafted Spencer Knight because he's that next guy. That next stud goalie.
And he fell to 13.
Well, he fell to 13. I mean, goalies nowadays don't get drafted highly.
Well, we'll address that at a different time.
Yeah. Well, moving on to the Kings, they really did not do much.
Bottom feeders of the league.
Yeah, they're going to be. They bought out DM enough. That's nothing.
Yeah.
They extended Jack Campbell, which, like, he was good when Jonathan Quick was out. I like the Martin Ferg signing because I'm a big Martin Ferg fan from his days back in Halifax. He's got a real good shot. I just feel that Detroit did not use him correctly. They drafted Alex Turcotte this past year.
I heard pretty good things about him.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's pretty good. Rasmus Kupari, I'm a big fan of.
That's a name.
Absolutely. I love this kid greatly. And then Gabe Velarde, he's had issues staying healthy, but he's just another problem.
So, before we move on, I have to address this question for you about the Kings. Do you think they finally get rid of and let Doughty move to a better team?
No.
No? You think he's stuck there?
I think he's stuck there.
See, that's just like, I mean, many consider him, and obviously NHL 20 considers him as the second best.
It's funny we're talking about this because he literally came out and said, I think it might have been even yesterday or the day prior, said that...
Since their last cup,
pardon my French here, but word for word he said things have been shits ever since.
And I mean, I don't want to say this because it's always hard to tell teams, but like you're wasting talent like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not going to get any younger.
And wouldn't you agree that, I mean, you could argue he's the best defender in the league.
He
was at a point.
I've never been exactly the biggest fan of Drew Doughty, but...
You got to admit he's up there.
He's up there.
Okay, maybe he's not exactly Victor Hedman, but...
Yeah.
I mean, NHL, the game sure believes he's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
But granted, that's all for debate. But I just think personally...
They're in a weird position.
You think?
They won cups. They're trying to still...
I mean, it's like...
Trying to win, but at the same time, they need a rebuild.
Yeah, they do. But, like, I mean... You're going to be the bottom of this division, probably.
Oh, for
You're
sure.
going to be... Could be the bottom of the league.
Probably going to be the bottom of the Western Conference.
Yeah, I don't know about the league itself, but I mean...
it's going to be a toss-up between them and Ottawa, basically.
And when you think about it, a few years ago, both those teams were in the playoffs and contending for a cup appearance, and the Kings won. I mean, it wasn't... What was it? 6-7 years ago, their most recent cup?
They won back in 2014.
So 5. So we're entering not a half decade ago.
Yeah.
And how quickly this sport can just turn on you. Sports in general can turn on you. But I just think personally, in my opinion, they should at least try.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the Sharks. Contending team should be a Stanley Cup contender.
Heck, could even be champs if they truly get there.
Well, they lost Joe Pavelski in free agency.
Okay, but that's their... Okay, I get what you're saying. It's the leader of their team.
Moving on to leadership, recently named Logan Couture as the new captain.
Would you...
I would have named him captain.
Do you think who would have been your second choice?
second choice maybe Brent Burns, but the thing of it is out of your core players that's been there the longest.
Yeah.
Like, obviously Eric Carlson, he's now one of their core players because he got extended this past summer.
Which was smart.
Which was very smart. But out of, like, Jumbo Joe Thornton, he's up there in age.
Yeah.
He signed with them, but he's, like, a few years being away from retired. You got Brent Burns at early to mid-30s now.
And
then you have Logan Couture.
Who is...
But yeah.
I mean, I don't know
he's
his
the
exact
youngest
age, but...
He's the youngest out of the three of them.
And he performed in the playoffs.
Yeah. This guy's clutch.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did to Vegas in Game 7?
I did not, but I heard about it.
He literally carried that team on his back when they were down, I think it was 4-1 or 4-0.
And he was part of the ones that scored all those goals?
Yeah, he scored 2 goals on that power play where they scored 4. Yeah.
And, I mean, ironically, I share a name with him, so I mean, I got to cheer for a guy like that. So.
Ryan Merkley, this guy, I don't know what his deal is. I know you don't know who he is.
Okay. Tell me about him.
He's got all the talent in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an attitude issue. Biggest thing. So his, I think he plays in the OHL. His OHL team refuses to have him on their team. And they're trying to trade him because of his attitude.
Like, are we talking like he just absolutely doesn't want to be there, or does he just think he's better than everybody else?
I don't know. I don't know the background behind it.
You haven't seen it, but
I know that he wasn't on their training camp roster. I'm not talking about the Sharks here. I'm talking about the OHL training camp roster. And they're trying to trade him, but they can't trade him because nobody wants to take on that attitude.
Boy, sure sounds familiar in other sports, but I mean, these guys are getting paid all this money and they can't even.
Well, he hasn't even got paid. He hasn't got a big boy check yet.
Okay,
either.
But still, like, you're still whatever your first deal is.
He needs to mature, straight up, realize what he has.
It's just scary that it's already happening this early.
Yeah.
And
a guy that took this is the steal of the century. Re-signing Kevin LeBlanc to a 1-year, $1 million contract. This guy almost put up 60 points last year. And he's making $1 million this year.
What's the thought process?
Well,
did he not just not want to leave?
What side are we talking about here?
We're
Player
talking
side
his
or
side first, because this is what's most important. Is what is he thinking?
He wants to win a Stanley Cup.
So he probably took a veteran discount.
Well, he took a deal so that way I think they're trying to make this is like their last hurrah.
Okay.
With Jumbo Joe. So I think he took a 1-year deal, thinking, okay, I'm gonna take a cheap deal. You can improve your team. I want to win a cup with you guys, but pay me next summer. Pay me my big boy contract that I'm gonna show you that I deserve. Which, like, kudos to him that he's betting on himself through putting up supposed to put up.
I love to see this kind of thing in sports. How old is he?
He's young. He's under 25.
Okay.
So, he should be a core piece there. Well, let's move on to Vancouver. Making a lot of moves. They traded for JT Miller. They signed Michael Furlan and Tyler Myers and Jordy Ben, which, that really shores up a lot of things in Vancouver.
Okay. But the big question
is, when will Brock Besser sign? And I looked today at their salary cap. They do not have enough money to sign him. Because this man should get paid over $6 million, and they have $4 million in cap space.
And do you think he's one of those people that will be like, "Hey, I'll take a discount"?
Maybe, if it's a 1-year discount.
Okay, because he is relatively young.
Yeah, just coming off of his entry level deal.
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes is gonna be a Calder candidate this year, and then they drafted Vasily Podkolzin. I think this kid could be the seal of this draft. I've talked about him before to a lot of people. This kid can be Nikita Kucherov.
Okay.
I know everybody was scared by his point production that he had in the KHL and that he was bouncing around different leagues. But when you watch this kid play, he plays every single night with his heart on the line. And that's the type of player that I want on my team.
Yeah.
His skill is unworldly. Well, let's move on. The last team in the division, Vegas Golden Knights, really haven't done much. Literally added Garrett Sparks for depth. But you get a full year of Mark Stone. Hopefully Paul Stastny stays healthy. Cody Glass, one of their best prospects. Supposed to make the team. And then another draft steal. Peyton Krebs. This kid plays on a bad team in the WHL. Like, I'm talking seriously bad team. But he has good numbers for being on that bad team.
Okay.
Another reason why he slipped to Vegas is because he got hurt.
Oh, one of these.
And because of that, people are like, okay, I don't know if I want to take him. But the amount of potential that this guy has.
Is otherworldly?
Yes. He was drafted first overall in the WHL draft, too.
Okay.
So, clearly, this kid has talent. And I can't think of the name that he plays for. But that team's so bad. Like, we're talking worse than what the Edmonton Oilers were before Connor McDavid. We're talking worse than what the Ottawa Senators are right now.
Right now. Wow.
Like, they are bad. And yet this kid can post over a point per game on that team. Just imagine what you do when you put him with real talent.
But could he translate to the next level?
I think it can, because he reminds me of Zach Parise.
Okay.
But with more skill.
You gotta hope.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is a team that
They're a cup
2 years
contender.
ago, you know, they're the new team
Came
in the
out of
league.
nowhere.
They got all these guys who had the thought process that, hey, we're the outlaws of the league because we weren't protected by our teams, and now we're starting new, and we get to
prove everybody.
we get to punch everybody in the mouth for giving us away.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about this team is that they still have some of those core pieces
They got that chip on
want
their shoulder.
that want to go back. And I know that every game there won't be, you know, maybe they don't have all the 30 players that they drafted in the that draft, but they have each individual one, and every single one of them has a chip on their shoulder, like you said, and they want to punch whoever gave them up in the mouth.
Yeah.
Now, aside, in net, you want to talk about a team that has a good netminder. They do. And with talent up front.
He's just got to stay healthy.
Which, it's been a problem for him.
Yeah.
But when he is healthy, this guy is...
He's good.
He's pretty
very
good. You know, he's not what he used to be.
No, I mean, that happens in the age, but like...
Granted, he is in his 30s, but like...
When healthy, he's a top 10 goalie.
Oh, easily. I mean, the experts agreed on the rankings.
Yeah.
But, so, really, now we move to the point where, okay, who do we feel comfortable in this division saying first? Okay, we're not going to go first, second, third, blah, 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 blah. But who do we think?
Teams I'm most comfortable in.
Okay.
Vegas and San Jose.
Okay.
I've got a lot of question marks in goal for Calgary.
Uh-huh. Do you think it was a one-season wonder?
I don't know if it was a one-season wonder.
Maybe for the number one seed?
Yeah, because I think they have good enough goaltending to get them into the playoffs.
I don't know about one seed, but...
Yeah. Arizona, I don't know if they have enough offensive depth to make the playoffs. And
let's just see if they're exciting this year.
And then Vancouver, they're a sleeper team. Realistically, this team could make the playoffs.
Okay. And then we got everybody else.
Yeah, you got Edmonton, Anaheim, LA, and they're just...
What's it going to take for Edmonton to win?
Well, they did the right thing.
Uh-huh.
They got rid of Peter Shirley.
Okay.
Now it's trying to rebuild that team.
You have arguably the best player in the world on that team. What is a rebuild with that?
A rebuild is getting the players around him.
Well, they have the one dude on his line.
Yeah, you have Draisaitl on his line.
But who's going to be the...
Exactly. It was supposed to be Jesse Puljujarvi.
No. I mean, you don't even feel bad for McDavid because he's literally doing everything possible.
I feel bad for McDavid. He does not deserve this.
Right, but he's still relatively young.
Yeah, he's still young, but like this kid comes out.
Yeah.
he makes it look effortless.
Right. I firsthand saw him play against Pittsburgh 2 years ago, and the man was a blur on the ice.
Yeah, because how fast he is.
Yeah.
He works.
But
the thing about him is it's not just that his feet are so fast. It's not just that his hands are so fast. His mind.
He's exceptional.
Keeps up with all three, like all of those.
And
that's what makes him special.
But see the part, like I want to see the kid win.
Oh, I do
I like
too.
him. I really want to see him. I mean,
I
not
want
just getting
him to be successful.
But he goes. Unfortunately for him, goes to the team that
he's made the playoffs with them for 1 year.
Yeah.
He's been there for 4 years now.
But it's just what I'm getting to is that the greatest player ever played for that team.
Yeah.
He put them on the map. And when you got that kind of shoes to fill, like, I know that he wasn't a direct replacement, but like
Peter Shirley just messed up Edmonton so bad that it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, but it's like you got that.
It's like the similar thing. See, the thing is like LA's wasting Drew Doughty's prime years, whereas Edmonton is wasting Connor McDavid's early years.
And he's not even.
He hasn't even entered his prime yet.
And the thing with him is, and what I believe is, he's going to have an elongated prime because most players, you get like your tip-top shape of your body in your late 20s.
Yeah,
but
I think it's
27 to 32, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
But this kid is probably going to be like the LeBron of the NHL. He's probably going to have an extended. I mean, he's in physical tip-top shape.
This kid is gonna be his prime is gonna start maybe this season.
And that's what should scare people, but then again,
and it's gonna go until 37, 38, and this kid's probably not gonna retire until he's like 40s.
Which is nice in hockey because it's a physical contact sport, but like
you can play like 20
you can play
years.
a long time, no matter if it's in the NHL or if it's overseas. You're gonna play a long time, but in the end, you want to see the kid win because everybody loves him, but no one's going into Edmonton shivering because they have to play the Oilers.
They're shivering because they have to play Connor McDavid, but once Connor McDavid's off the ice, they're like, okay, who cares?
What's his average playing time last year? What was it?
Just right around, I think maybe like 20 some minutes.
So the other half of the game that he's not on the ice, they're not afraid of that team whatsoever.
No. I mean, basically, their bottom six is made up of AHLers.
Oh, boy.
So...
like, what's it going to take, dude?
Good drafts.
But you can only have so many before it gets too far. And they're not going to give him up, and I don't think he's going to leave. Maybe if he keeps going through this depression of a few years later, he might. But, I mean, if
Edmonton's not good by the time his deal expires, then...
they're not going to have a choice but to try to trade him in his last year.
They're not going to... I don't know when they'll ever be good if they're not good by then.
Exactly. So you just got to pray for them, but this year it's not going to be any different.
Yeah.
Like you were saying with the Sharks and the Knights, I mean, that's pretty hard to top them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sharks' defense is pretty good. The Sharks all around are good.
Yeah.
Vegas all around is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Arizona, I like Arizona. I like Gaudreau.
I think they can be good.
I think they're going to be the third of the four. Yeah. But do they get the fourth wild card? Do they get the first wild card, second wild card team, or does the Central get the two of them? Because very much so, the Central is pretty top.
It's gonna be a fight.
It's gonna be a fun fight to watch. At this division, I mean,
I think the Pacific Division, like teams like Arizona, teams like Vancouver, and teams like Calgary, they get a better advantage because they go up against the worst competition. Because like in the Central, your worst competition is Minnesota.
I mean, you have questions about them, but, like, seriously, they're still a good team.
Whereas, if you're one of those teams that I just named,
you're going the Oilers a few times.
You play the Oilers, you play the Ducks a few times, you play the Kings a few times.
You're getting necessary wins late in the year if you play them, and it's like, you have three teams that, they don't look, no one's a guaranteed win on paper, but, like, I mean, you go against them, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, seriously.
Those are gimme wins
that
you should be taking. But, it's going to be a fun race. Yeah. The West is pretty fun.
Well, in the next one, we're going to be recapping the week 2 of the NFL. So we'll see you guys next time.
Mm-hmm.